Now, big hopes in the fight against cancer and the potential for some surprising allies, elephants. Special correspondent Jackie Judd reports on researchers thinking outside the box.
The Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey performing pancreatics!
This spring, all of these circus elephants will be permanently retired. But as they leave the center ring, they're taking center stage in another unlikely place, the Huntsman Cancer Institute in Salt Lake City.
Just about every person I met who heard about this would come up and ask, elephants? Cancer? What's the connection? Hi guys, how's she feeling?
The possible connection is a work in progress, led by pediatric oncologist Dr. Joshua Schiffman.
Insert the needle into the vein.
He's enlisted the support of the Ringling Brothers Center for Elephant Conservation in Florida and the Hogle Zoo in Salt Lake to draw blood from these sturdy mammals for his experiments. Logically, elephants should get cancer much more often than we do. They have 100 times the cells than humans, and therefore much more opportunity for those cells to mutate into cancer. But that's not the case. Less than 5% of elephant deaths are attributed to cancer.
Elephants have had 55 million years of evolution to figure out how to avoid cancer. Now, it's our turn to take a page out of nature's playbook and try to figure out how do we help our patients and families with cancer.
Most humans have 2 copies of a gene called p53. When everything is working, the protein in p53 is a cancer suppressor, repairing or killing mutant cells so they don't multiply. Elephants have 40 copies of p53.
This is our tissue culture room. This is where we actually do the experiments to try to understand how does elephant p53 work. In here are the actual cells growing.
After bombarding elephant blood with radiation, Dr. Schiffman and his team stood back and observed how the elephant p53 responded to the damaged cells. The answer, recently published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, was that the multiple genes responded far more robustly than p53's response in humans.
Instead of trying to repair themselves, the elephant cells, many of them all went on to cell death, to this cell suicide, or what we call apoptosis. It's as if these elephant cells had said, well, it's much safer, much better strategy to just kill the cell and start over. If we do that, there's no way that that cell can go on to become cancer. And that was an aha moment for us in the lab. We're trying to learn how to get kids better with cancer without making them sick.
Now the research has turned to this question. How does elephant p53 respond in human cancer cells? And could it stop the disease cold? Could it be a treatment to prevent cancer or halt its growth?
In here are 3 breast cancers from different individuals that have been growing in the labs. And we take the elephant p53 and transfect it. We put it into the breast cancer cell lines and we wait and we see, will the elephant p53 kill these breast cancer cell lines?
Lily, you get some spoons. Emma, I'll get you the bowls.
The research and where it may lead would be especially meaningful for people like Tony Means. He and others with a genetic disorder called Lee-Fraumeni syndrome have only 1 p53 gene instead of 2, leaving them virtually defenseless against cancer.
In your family, your mother had Lee-Fraumeni, died very young.
Yes, ma'am.
You have aunts and uncles who have cancer and have Lee-Fraumeni?
Yes. A good chunk of our family. I would say a majority.
And they've all been tested. They have
every single one has been Lee-Fraumeni.
Means is being treated for cancer, and 6-year-old daughter Emma is being watched by Dr. Schiffman because of a small brain tumor. 2 other children with Lee-Fraumeni are frequently screened, and the family takes part in Dr. Schiffman's research in any way they can.
I kind of put hope in him by choosing to have children, knowing that there's a chance they could have the gene.
But
Constantly
you
feels-
understand this is years off,
Oh yeah,
if
yeah, yeah,
ever.
yeah, yeah.
If ever.
Oh yeah. Who knows?
So this would be our nanoparticle.
And that is where Avi Schroeder comes in. Dr. Schroeder of Technion, the Israel Institute of Technology, joined the research several months ago with the goal of developing a drug for humans that would mimic the elephant's robust P53.
Now there's a delivery issue. How can we get that protein to the disease site, into the cancer cells, to act and to perform the therapeutic activity on site? We're gonna wrap the proteins inside a nanoparticle, and they'll release the protein inside the cancer cells.
And if everything works, the cancer cell would be killed.
Yes, the cancer cell will go into a death cycle after that, yes.
We are very excited to have Dr. Schroeder here.
The team of optimists believes clinical trials could begin in 3 years. Not surprisingly, there is skepticism in the medical community, and that is shared by Dr. Lee Hellman, the head of clinical research at the National Cancer Institute.
The whole idea of putting a elephant gene that's regulated in a unique way into a human being, when we've had enough trouble putting human genes into human beings with all kinds of difficulty, I would say he's got a lot of hurdles to overcome.
But Dr. Hellman does believe there is value to this deeper investigation into P53.
I think his finding only lends further evidence to support that hypothesis that P53 function and understanding it and being able to regulate it would be a major step forward in our ability to treat cancer.
Cancer touches almost every family, directly or indirectly. For families like the Means, it is a certainty. So what is happening in this lab at this zoo could be life-changing.
Have you taken the kids to the zoo to see the elephants?
Yes. Oh man, that was awesome. The kids loved it. And it was kind of fun for me to sit there as a father and just look at them. If this is the answer in their lifetime, that's all I want, is for my kids to have that. And this gives them hope.
I don't promise my patients it will happen because I don't want to have them disappointed. But if I didn't believe this would work, I wouldn't be trying it.
Dr. Schiffman concedes that turning to elephants for a cancer treatment is outside the box. But that, he says, is often where the best answers are found. This is Jackie Judd for the PBS NewsHour in Salt Lake City.